shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
We'll notice a pattern change today. The next weather maker gets closer to us and starts a chance of showers and thunderstorms that'll last into the weekend.
Town budget approved. The tax hikes now set in Cary, and just how much more homeowners will pay each month. Holiday travel ahead. Just how many people are traveling by air and how passengers are working to save money on their trips. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It is 4:30, and we love our 4:30 viewers. You guys are dedicated to be up this early in the morning. Let's get our weekend started early, right? And let's get to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRO Severe Weather Center as people have their holiday travel plans, even starting this weekend, Elizabeth.
That's right. A lot of people leave town on Friday and they're gone for the entire week. And so this is important. This front gets close enough to us today to help bring a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms. And it's likely to be about mid-afternoon into the evening that we begin to see those cells developing. We're going to walk through that on Futurecast in just a little bit. I love this. Renee and I pulled this up just a few minutes ago, and Renee and I were like, ooh, look at this. Franklinton just looking gorgeous, all dressed up for 4th of July. Flags on the lawn and the red, white, and blue lights on the building. 73 is our temperature, and our dew point is 64, so it still feels pretty comfortable for us now, but it is going to be a hot and humid afternoon for us. We take a look outside right now, 63 in Roxborough, 73 in Southern Pines, 72 in Goldsboro, and hour by hour at lunchtime, we climb to 91, and we'll see a high of 95. We do have some triple digits in the 7-day forecast. We'll talk about that. Also, Saturday is already a WRAL weather alert day with a level 2 risk for severe storms. So a lot to talk about coming up. Renee?
Yes, and love the displays in Franklinton. They do it upright. Homeowners in Cary will see their property tax bills go up. Town Council passed a new budget last night that includes tax hikes, but they are not as high as what was originally proposed. The new budget raises property taxes by $2.75 per $100. That is a penny less than what was in the original plan. The average Cary homeowner will pay about $15 more each month. The new spending plan also includes measures to improve transparency and accountability. It is the first budget since former town manager Sean Stiegel resigned over what town leaders called over-the-top spending and poor financial reporting.
The breach led to inaccurate information being provided to council over several years, leaving critical needs unaddressed, particularly with our police and fire departments.
Mayor Harold Weinbrecht called this budget the beginning of a 3-year public safety recovery plan. It adds dozens of new police and fire positions. America is celebrating its 250th anniversary next Saturday, and people are traveling across the country to ring in the milestone. Nearly 6 million people are taking flights ahead of the 4th of July holiday. WRL's Kelsey Coffey is live now at RDU. Kelsey, AAA is expecting this year's travel week to break records again.
Yes, Renee, the average cost for a domestic flight right now is $830, according to AAA. But that's not stopping people from catching flights this 4th of July holiday. You can see here that it's already a busy start at RDU. Folks checking in their bags, going through TSA, a lot of activity so early this morning. Now, the official start to the 4th of July holiday travel season is tomorrow. And the number one domestic destination this year is Seattle, and here's why. AAA says Alaskan cruises are becoming more popular, and that's where people start their trip. The higher cost of jet fuel impacting flight prices in recent months is causing people to find other ways to spend less.
People are just going to find other ways to save, whether that means cutting their trip shorter, staying close to home, saving on souvenirs, not going out to extravagant dinners.
Now, although we see these record-breaking numbers every year, AAA says that the rate is not increasing as quickly as it used to. So just comparing this year to last year, it's only a 0.5% increase. And AAA says inflation is to blame. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live at RDU.
Kelsey, thank you. Emergency workers are racing to rescue people still trapped after those powerful earthquakes in Venezuela. This morning, the death toll has climbed to at least 235 people. That number is expected to rise. At least 4,300 people are injured. Satellite images show the before and after, where buildings once stood and now reduced to rubble. Venezuela's leaders have declared a state of emergency as crews search for victims and survey the extent of the damage. Offers of aid are pouring in from humanitarian organizations and countries around the world. The U.S. has deployed search and rescue teams along with medical resources. Lumbee tribal leaders held an emergency meeting last night. They're working on what to do next after tribal members voted down a measure tied to plans for a casino along I-95. The measure that was voted down earlier in the week would have given the tribal chairman and council control of the process. Tribal members who voted against it say they want to be part of future decision making. At last night's meeting, council members voted to explore more legal pathways to pursue gaming. That plan would include public meetings.
All this is doing is exploring legal pathways and hearing our people's voices and moving this tribal nation forward to getting the benefits that we so rightfully need.
After Tuesday's vote, Tribal Chairman John Lowry said he would not bring up gaming during the remaining 18 months of his term. The NHL draft begins tonight, and with it, Carolina Hurricanes fans are looking toward the future. The Canes will be trying to repeat as Stanley Cup champions next season. WRAL's Ali Kadlabar joins us live from Lenovo Center. Ali, tonight we'll get our first chance to talk to Canes leadership about what to expect in the offseason.
Yeah, Renee, I mean, we are just 86 days away from the first preseason game, and today WRAL is talking to head coach Rod Brindamore and general manager Eric Tulsky about what to expect between now and then. Now, the Canes only have 4 picks in this year's draft, but unlike previous Stanley Cup winners, their existing roster is not expected to get poached this year. The NHL's contract tracker shows only 2 players on the playoff roster who are unrestricted free agents, and that includes goaltender Freddie Anderson. Other big names, including Sebastian Aho, Seth Jarvis, and Jackson Blake, are all under contract into the 2030s. Now, Tulsky says he's willing to be aggressive in signings and trade opportunities, and this puts them in a good position for another push toward the Stanley Cup. I know so many Canes fans want to see that. WRAL's sports team is speaking with the coaches, with the head leadership later today. They're going to be live in front of Lenovo Center right here at 5 this evening. WRAL is also speaking with Canes insider Adam Gold during the 9 a.m. hour on Fox 50. Reporting live at Lenovo Center, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
We now know the name of a Wilson teen who was found shot to death earlier this week. According to a GoFundMe page, 16-year-old Ladarius Simmons was a student at Wilson Prep Academy. Wilson police say Simmons was found dead just after midnight Tuesday inside a home on Spruce Street. Police have not yet made any arrests. A man accused of killing his wife at a Smithfield manufacturing plant is expected to make his first court appearance today. Sky 5 flew over the scene at the AAF Flanders facility yesterday morning. Jesus Bermudez is charged with murdering Lorena Paz. She was found dead in the parking lot of the facility. No word on a motive in this case. The city of Raleigh is considering selling one of its parking decks in a popular area downtown, and families are worried about the cost they may have to pay. We're talking about the deck on Wilmington Street across from Marble's Kids Museum. The city says it was presented with an offer to buy the deck before it was even made public. Downtown Raleigh Alliance President Bill King says the deck has been a huge economic driver. Since the 2-hour free parking program started, usage of the deck has gone up more than a third. Marble CEO Jonathan Frederick says many of the museum's visitors use that parking deck. A sale which could lead to paid parking could change that.
We want every child to be able to play at marbles, and to have free parking right across the street, it's hugely impactful.
You probably wouldn't see us here as often. That would be a big deciding factor. Please don't think about the kids and the families who can't afford $25 to park.
Says The city says there are plenty of parking options downtown to consider, and that includes on-the-street private decks and more square deck just around the corner. It will continue to seek bids for the property. Next up for Team USA, Bosnia and Herzegovina. The round of 32 matchup is set after last night's matches at the FIFA World Cup. Team USA played Turkey to wrap up their group stage matches. The Americans got on the board first with a goal by Austin Trusty just over 2 minutes into the match. But Turkey stormed back, and with just seconds left before the final whistle, they scored to break a 2-2 tie. Turkey got the win, 3-2. Even with the results, USA is the winner of Group D, and now they go to the single elimination knockout stage. Their game against Bosnia and Herzegovina is on Wednesday night. There's another triple header of World Cup games later today on Fox 50. At 3, Norway and France. Then at 8, it's Uruguay against Spain. And it wraps up with an 11 p.m. kickoff between New Zealand and Belgium. Immigration cases, what the Supreme Court sided on with President Trump and how it will affect the border and temporary protection statuses. Elizabeth.
We are looking, of course, at a day today where we're going to have a better chance for showers and thunderstorms, mainly in the afternoon. Temperatures get hotter, too. We'll see highs in the mid-90s this afternoon, but that's nothing compared to what we could see next week. We'll check that out coming up. 4:44, our next weather maker, getting close enough to us today to bring us the start of a round of showers and thunderstorms. We'll see it again Saturday and Sunday. So this is going to be stalled over us for quite some time. I would expect right after lunchtime that we start to see some scattered storms, and that's going to continue through the evening. So that means if you're going to be traveling, you have the potential to see some trouble during the evening commute. We do have a level 2 risk for severe storms on Saturday. So Saturday is going to be a WRAL weather alert day, and we're going to jump into that in just a couple of minutes. Heading outside right now, though, everything still feels comfortable. We have the top of the tower lit in blue for clear skies, and our temperatures are in the mid-60s to mid-70s, 73 Southern Pines, but 66 in Lewisburg, 69 in South Hill and Irwin, and 73 degrees in Goldsboro. Exercise, yes, this morning, and maybe not outside this afternoon as we climb into the mid-90s. Renee?
Ooh, it's going to be toasty. Elizabeth, thank you. The Supreme Court sided with President Donald Trump on 2 major immigration cases. One of them clears the way for the White House to restart its asylum policy. It aims to curb the number of migrants processed at the southern border who claim to be fleeing political, racial, or religious persecution in their home country. The other deals with temporary protection status. It allows migrants from certain countries facing strife to legally remain and work in the U.S. under the active designation. State lawmakers said weeks ago they would give state employees a raise of at least 3% starting next fiscal year. That fiscal year starts next week. Lawmakers still have not passed a budget. Lawmakers say the budget talks continue with funding for major projects still on the table. Even after a deal is reached, the budget must be drafted and sent to the governor, who will have 10 days to act. If it's vetoed, the process could drag on even longer. A biology teacher in Georgia has been indicted on nearly 30 sex crimes involving students. Maris Nichols turned herself in yesterday, and according to the warrants, Nichols had sex with students on and off campus and recorded a minor and a lewd act. She was arrested in May and put on house arrest with an ankle monitor. Her bond was revoked after she broke curfew 38 times in 27 days.
Nobody holds standards anymore. They have no morals, no respect for others. You have to think in your mind, I'm really mucking up the waters. You know what I mean? Like, kids like to talk.
According to warrants, Nichols' mother may have tried to delete evidence from a phone and tried to get her daughter's work laptop from the high school principal. New motions filed in the Alec Murdaugh case are seeking a change of venue for his upcoming retrial. Attorneys filed the motion because of the intense media attention. They also filed for independent DNA testing and access to prison case files. The DNA testing is for evidence collected under Maggie Murdaugh's fingernails. The prison case file is to allow Alec Murdaugh to have access to an offline laptop so he can review cases case documents in jail. A status hearing is scheduled for Monday. 4th of July fireworks events are planned across the Triangle, and communities we've asked say they are not planning any changes with that, even with our drought conditions. Cities and towns across the Triangle tell WRAL their celebrations are moving forward. State forestry officials say drought conditions remain a concern, but fire risks are lower than they were earlier this spring. And local officials say they will keep monitoring conditions ahead of the holiday. WRAL has been tracking the growing drought and its cost to crops, homes, and outdoor fun across central North Carolina. Scan the QR code on your screen to catch up with the latest outlook, how long it could last, and how you should be saving water. Well, officials talked about their tracking conditions up to July 4th. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner also tracking conditions to help you plan your holiday week and to see if we will have fireworks 4th of July.
Ooh, you know, it is still going to be so dry that's iffy. So make sure you're checking your local town. There's a lot going on. First of all, we're moving into a wetter pattern with a chance of storms and a severe threat on Saturday. That's a level 2 risk. And then as we get into next week, it's about intense heat. I mean, some of the hottest weather that potentially we've seen, and I mean potential all-time records. Okay, so here's what's happening right now. We have a fairly slow-moving front that's producing thunderstorms to our west. It gets close enough to us today to begin to bring in some of those storms, and then even closer for tomorrow. So tomorrow's a WRAL weather alert day. We have a level 2 risk north and east of the Triangle area. Expect some heavy rain, definitely the potential for some damaging winds. Wind damage is going to be our biggest threat after for Saturday, and most of this will be in the afternoon and evening. Let's start with today. Right around lunchtime, we're seeing a few clouds, and then the showers and storms pop up right after lunchtime. And you can see at 5 o'clock, it's pretty widespread. It does die down around the time of sunset, so keep that in mind. That's going to be the pattern going forward, Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday, we may start it as early as noon. There's 2 in the afternoon. There's 5, 6 o'clock, and then again, once we get towards sunset, everything dies down. We will repeat again on Sunday. What does that mean for your plans this weekend? The mornings look fine. Get outside. It'll be cooler and a little less humid. It'll be hot and humid with afternoon and evening storms Saturday and Sunday. Looking ahead to the 4th of July, I know Franklinton is. Don't you love it? The flags here on the middle school lawn and all the pretty red, white, and blue colors there. It's 73 with a dew point of 64. So it feels okay right now, but we do climb into the mid-90s for this afternoon. And then we'll be in the 90s well into next week. We don't get a break from the heat that we feel today. As a matter of fact, high pressure builds in and it gets dangerously hot, well above average temperatures as we get into the holiday weekend. Look at this already. We have a forecast of 100 Wednesday and 102 Thursday, and it could get worse than that. Renee?
Elizabeth, thank you. Right now, we're following breaking news. There is an active police scene near Timber Drive in Garner. Kirsten Clark just arrived at the scene in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. Kirsten, what are you seeing?
Yes, Renee. So we are on Hillendale Lane. This is a residential street just a block away from the White Oak Shopping Center here in Garner. For those who are familiar, I'm going to take a step out of the way so you can see what we're looking at. You've got an ambulance coming up the street right now. And we just arrived about 15 minutes ago. We saw a man being loaded into that ambulance. We're also seeing several Garner police officers here on scene. We've seen at least 5 or 6 officers, including the K9 unit. So at this point, we are still working to learn more information about what exactly happened here. And we, of course, will bring you updates as soon as we have them. Live in Garner, Kirsten Clark, WRAL News.
A very active scene there, and Kirsten will stay on top of that for you. Special Olympics USA, the North Carolina athletes setting the standard and bringing home several medals.